everybody, it's Debbie and Sam to read you some more stories today. Today I thought it would be fun to start out by stretching a little bit, so everybody stand up because we are going to pretend to be teddy bears. Are you ready? Teddy bear, turn around. Teddy bear, touch the ground. Teddy bear, show your shoe. Teddy bear, that will do. Teddy bear, bend down low. Teddy bear, show your toes. Teddy bear, turn out the light. Teddy bear, say good night. Good night. And wake up because we're going to have stories. The first story is going to be about a teddy bear. Do you remember when we had some stories about bears before? One of the bears we had a story about was this little bear. Do you remember this one? You're right. This is Corduroy. And in the last story of Corduroy was really sad because he only had one button. And then he met a little girl named Lisa who loved him and sewed another button on his overalls. And then he was so much more comfortable. This is a new adventure for Corduroy. Let's see what happens to him now. It's called A Pocket for Corduroy. Late one summer afternoon, Lisa and her mother took their laundry to the laundromat. That means they brought their clothes to a place where there were washers and dryers because they didn't have one in their apartment. As always on such trips, Lisa carried along her toy bear, Corduroy. He kept her company. The laundromat was a very busy place at this hour. Now, Corduroy, she said, you sit right here and you wait for me, said Lisa. I'm going to go help Mommy with the wash. Corduroy waited patiently, and then suddenly he perked up his ears. Lisa's mother was saying, be sure to take everything out of your pockets, Lisa dear. You don't want your precious things to get all wet and soapy. Oh, pockets. Do you have pockets? I have pockets in my blue jeans. Sometimes I put treasures in there. Do you put treasures in your pockets? Pockets, said Corduroy to himself. I don't have a pocket. He slid off of his chair. I must go find something to make a pocket out of, he cried, and off he went. Do you think he'll find something to make a pocket out of? First, he came to a pile of fancy towels and washcloths. Nothing was the right size or color. Then he saw a huge sack of colorful clothes in a laundry bag. There ought to be something in there to make a pocket out of, said Corduroy. You think he'll find something? Without hesitating, he climbed inside the bag, which was filled with pieces of wet laundry. The dampness didn't bother Corduroy in the least. This must be a cave, he said happily. I've always wanted to go in a cave. Is that a cave? He's silly. When the time came for Lisa to get her bear, he wasn't on the chair. Mommy, she said, Corduroy isn't where I left him. I'm sorry, dear, said her mother, but the laundromat will be closing soon and we need to leave. Oh no, poor Lisa. She has to leave her bear behind. Lisa didn't want to leave without Corduroy, but her mother insisted. You can come back tomorrow, she said. I'm sure that he will be here when you get back. As they left, a young man wearing an artist beret, that's a kind of hat, was taking his wet laundry out of a bag. The very bag that Corduroy had discovered. Before he knew it, Corduroy was being tossed together with all of the sheets and the shirts and the shorts and the slacks. Oh no, what's going to happen to Corduroy? He was placed in the dryer. But just as the artist was shutting the glass door, Corduroy tumbled out to the floor. How in the world did you get mixed up with all of my things, said the artist. Poor Corduroy was damp. That means he was wet all over. The least I can do for you is dry your coveralls, the man said. So he unbuttoned Corduroy's shoulder straps and he put his coveralls into the dryer. Well, that was nice of him, wasn't it? Corduroy grew dizzy as he watched the clothes spinning round and around. The artist became inspired and started to paint that picture. "This would make a wonderful painting," he said. "I can hardly wait to get back to my studio." Finally, the dryer stopped whirling and the man gathered up the clothes, and then he helped Corduroy put on his warm, dry overalls. All at once, the manager of the laundromat said, "Closing time! Everybody needs to leave now. Goodbye, folks." Oh no, what will happen to Corduroy now? Corduroy was gently placed on top of a washing machine. "I wonder who that bear belongs to," said the artist. "Seems to me that he should have his name someplace. He's too fine a fellow to get lost." Poor Corduroy. As soon as the lights were turned off, Corduroy began to search again. He was surprised to see something white glowing in the dark. "Maybe it's snow," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted to play in the snow." Do you think that's snow on the washing machine? I think it's detergent for the laundry, don't you? He accidentally tipped over the open-lidded box, and suddenly he was covered in soft, slippery soap flakes. Gradually, Corduroy began to slip and slide. "Oh, what fun," he said with a smile. "I've always wanted to ski down a steep mountain." That's not a mountain. He's just pretending, right? He landed paws first in an empty laundry basket. "Oh no," said Corduroy. "This must be a cage. I've never wanted to live inside a cage like a bear in the zoo." But by now Corduroy felt drowsy, and soon he nodded off to sleep. Good night, little Corduroy. Have a good sleep. The next morning, when the manager came to open the door of the laundromat, there was Lisa waiting. "I left something here yesterday," she said. "May I please look for it?" Sure, certainly," said the manager. "My customers are always leaving things behind." Lisa was searching under the chairs and in back of the washing machines when she heard the manager say, "Miss, is this what you're looking for?" It was Corduroy in the laundry basket. Yes, he's my best friend," said Lisa. She grabbed him and hugged him tight. "So this is where you've been, you little rascal. It's time that I took you home." Lisa thanked the manager and ran out the door and down the street, holding Corduroy tightly in her arms. "I thought I told you to wait for me," she said. "Why did you wander away?" "I went looking for a pocket," said Corduroy. "Oh, Corduroy, why didn't you just tell me you wanted a pocket?" Lisa said, giving him a little hug. That very morning, Lisa sewed a pocket on Corduroy's overalls. "And here's a card I've made with your name on it, just in case," she said, "in case you get lost again." "I've always wanted a purple pocket with my name tucked inside," said Corduroy. And he and Lisa nuzzled noses. They did this. They put their noses and they nuzzled them next to each other because they loved each other very much. I have another story that's kind of silly. It's about a little tiny teddy bear and a really big teddy bear. And this is my teddy bear. I think I showed you before. It used to belong to my daughter when she was little. That's my teddy bear. But let's see what the teddy bear in this story looks like. It's called Where's My Teddy? Look, there's a forest. Lots of trees in that forest, aren't there? Where's my teddy? Eddie's off to find his teddy. Teddy's name is Freddie. Do you see Eddie? He's very small in that big forest, isn't he? He's a little boy. Oh my. He lost him in the woods somewhere. It's dark and scary in there. "Help," said Eddie. "I'm scared already. I want my bed. I want my teddy." Oh, I hope he finds it, don't you? He tiptoed on and on until something made him stop quite still. "Look out," he thought. "There's something there." What's that? What did he see? A giant teddy bear. "Is it Freddie?" said Eddie. "What a surprise. How did you get to be that size?" I think that teddy bear is a little too big for him, don't you? "You're too big to huddle and cuddle," he said, "and I'll never fit both of us into my bed." I don't even think he'll be able to carry him, do you? Then, out of the darkness, clearer and clearer, the sound of sobbing came nearer and nearer. Soon the whole woods could hear that voice bawl. "How did you get to be so tiny and small? You're too small to cuddle and huddle," it said, "and you'll only get lost in my giant-sized bed." I wonder who's talking, don't you? Oh my! It was a gigantic bear and a teeny tiny teddy bear stomping around. Do you think that teeny tiny teddy bear belonged to Eddie? I think so. And I bet that great big teddy bear belonged to the bear, don't you? The giant teddy and Eddie. There's a giant teddy and Eddie. "My Ted," said the bear. "A bear," screamed Eddie. "A boy," yelled my bear. "My Teddy," said Eddie. The bear got his big teddy bear, and the little teddy bear fell down so Eddie could have his teddy bear. Then they ran and they ran through the dark woods back to their homes as fast as they could. The big bear with his big teddy and little Eddie with his little teddy. All the way back to their snuggly beds where they huddled and cuddled their own little Teds. And then the woods had no one left because everyone was back in their beds holding their Teds and having really good sleeps. And I hope you have a good sleep later on tonight with your teddy bear or whatever stuffed animal you like to hold that keeps you nice and cuddly and warm. Goodbye, friends. See you tomorrow.